Hello and welcome back to Dreams to Dollars with DINDZE. This is a YouTube series where we share productivity and personal development life hacks. So if you are a new subscriber, you're highly welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I appreciate you so much. So it's almost mid-year, end of June, mid-year, and since there is no productivity without accountability, this video is meant to help you walk you through do your personal mid-year review effectively. So this video is going to help you know how to evaluate yourself. How far have you gone in achieving the goals that you set at the beginning of the year? How far away are you from achieving these goals? What have you learned from these experiences? And what is stopping you? What could be fixed? And what is going on so well? So stay tuned because I am saving the best for the last. So let's start with what were the goals and targets that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year? What were they? Whether concerning your health, your relationship, your spiritual life, your career, your business, what were the goals that you set for yourself? How is it going? Have you been achieving those goals flawlessly? Or do you find that you were a bit too ambitious when setting these goals? How is it going? Just take a moment to reflect, ask yourself, how is it going in each aspect? So let me walk you through the review process. How is it going? Take a moment to reflect and ask yourself what percentage task completion can I give myself? I mean, is it 80%? Is it 60%? Is it 10%? Is it 2%? How can you rate yourself? Just reflect. Don't give in too much calculation to it, but just reflect and ask yourself, how much completion have I attained? How many of these goals have I attained, and then what percent of them have I attained? So just take a moment to ask yourself this. And as you ask yourself this, I now want you to start um, asking yourself another question. Do you think you were too ambitious in setting these goals? Do you think that you were even intentional in setting these, in accomplishing these goals? Do you think that you put in enough effort? Do you think that it is your fault that you haven't achieved some of these goals? If that happens to be your case, do you think that there are things that are other factors that are contributing to you not achieving these goals? Just take a moment and reflect and ask yourself. Then you also ask yourself, what have my experiences been like? What have you gone through? What have you learned? What have you unlearned? What have you overcome? What has beaten you so bad? Ask yourself these questions. They help make your mind more and more aware of what you are doing and of the situation of your goals, of the situation of your targets. Just take a moment to ask yourself this before we move to the next step. Okay, so let's start with different aspects of life that a person could have set goals under. So, business, what were your goals? Did you aim to get more clients? Did you aim to put out a new product in the market? Did you aim to, I don't know, launch a new um, clothes exhibition, product exhibition? Did you aim to go all out on advertisement? What did you aim to get? Just think about it. What exactly did you aim to get? I know that this can be like a one sentence thing, but there is usually the core of it. There is usually the core of that thing that is that you use to measure your performance. That thing that gives you that performance metrics, the performance indicator. There is usually that one thing that you told yourself that if I see myself here, I know that I have already achieved these goals. So think about it and just think about it for a moment. And in the aspect of relationships, did you tell yourself that you are going to communicate more? Did you tell yourself that you are going to take more time to process your emotions? Did you tell yourself that you were going to take more time to listen to your partner? What were your goals for your relationship? About your spiritual life, what were your goals? Did you tell yourself that you were going to spend more time studying the Word of God to pick out much more insights? Just let it be a light unto your path, a lamp unto your feet. Did you tell yourself that you were going to spend more time fellowshipping with God? Did you tell yourself that you were going to get more spiritual, awaken your spirit man much more than um, uh, the physical man? Ask yourself these questions. What did I aim to? What did I aim to get? In aspects of health, did you tell yourself that you were going to eat more healthy? Did you tell yourself that you were going to exercise more? Did you tell yourself that you were going to lose some weight or put on some weight? What are those things that you told yourself? I just need you to follow me and think about these things slowly, one after the other, because it makes you really, really conscious about all the things that you told yourself. Sometimes most of us have even forgotten. That is the reality with most people. By this time of the year, they've forgotten all those things that they said they were going to do at the beginning of the year. About your career, did you tell yourself that you were going to upgrade your CV? Did you tell yourself that you were going to work so much on your soft skills? Did you tell yourself that you were going to pick up some more hard skills? Did you tell yourself that you were going to upgrade your profile such that it becomes really, really attractive and catchy to employers and business partners and stuff like that? Did you tell yourself that you were going to work so hard or apply for that promotion that you've always been wanting to get? Life is meant to be lived. So all these things that you told yourself that you are going to do, you're supposed to be doing them today. And if procrastination is still coming to hold you down, I recommend that you go back and watch my video about how I overcame procrastination. At this point, we're now very aware of all the things that we've reminded ourselves of all the things that we set out to do in the beginning of the year. We have been reminded of how ambitious we were in the beginning of the year, the things that we wish to make happen this year. Okay, at this point, what do? We now pick each of these things and then we ask ourselves some pretty important questions. This process isn't meant to be rushed. You're supposed to do it as slowly as you can. So you might not necessarily have goals in all aspects, like in relationship, business, spiritual life, health, like I named. You might not necessarily have set goals for all these aspects of your life, but the few that you have set, dedicate time to it. Use maybe 10 minutes of your time to think about what is happening. Why is it happening? Are there other possibilities? Is what is happening, is it primarily because of me, or is it primarily because of something else? And if it's because of something else, can we identify what that something else is? All the experiences that you went through, put them together, and then you will be able to identify a root cause of something. So I'm going to use a personal example, an example of myself, a goal that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, and I just do the evaluation. I ask these very pertinent questions, and I just analyze. I try to answer them together with you so that you understand how to do this, and then you can pick each other goal of yours and analyze it this way to see if you can get some very helpful insights from this analysis. So I would love to pick out a goal in which I think I did quite poorly so that we can get, for the sake of the example, yes. So I would love to pick a goal like that. And yeah, we need to keep in mind that it really has to be smart, it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's what's the R, it's realistic, it's time bound. Yeah, so I did that. I said by the end of this year I am going to have a habit of exercising 3 times per week. That I had that in my mind and I had that written down, and yeah, I kind of started. But now let's do some evaluation and see how far I am from achieving that goal, or how much of it I have achieved. So if I ask myself this first question, how far from achieving this goal am I? Like how much, if I were to give it a percentage, how much would I say I have completed? I would say 20%. I would say 20%. This doesn't take too much calculation. This is just by my estimations. How far have I gone to? achieve this, and I would say 20%. And then I ask myself the second question: what exactly has been happening? What is the problem? What has been stopping me? And I like to look at this answer in two ways. Is it me, or is it some other external factor? And in my case, I would say it's me. It's me. Then I try to analyze more. Why is it me? Why am I stopping myself from exercising? Meanwhile, I know that this is something that is really good for me to do. Is it that I'm lazy? Is it that I'm psychologically not prepared to exercise? What exactly is going on? Is it that I do not have enough time on my table to do the exercises? And in my case, I would say I'm psychologically not prepared to exercise. That's what's been stopping me. I haven't really put my mind to it. I haven't really put the efforts of pushing myself to go and exercise. And since a lot of things start from the mind, I have been failing woefully at achieving this goal. So what have I learned from this poor performance? The experiences I've had, even though I've not been achieving these goals, what have I learned in not achieving them? I've learned that exercise itself is, from the few times that I got to exercise and from the many times that I did not exercise as I set out to do at the beginning of the year, I have learned that exercise itself is more about mindset. The psychological state where you are contributes to it a whole lot. So if you, in as much as I think it's a give and take thing, it's a two-way sword, something of that sort, a two-way thing. Because in as much as it helps you, it keeps your mental health intact, it's also a decision. The decision to start exercising also comes from your mind. It's also a psychological thing. For you to build a habit like that, a lot of mind work goes into it, and that is what I feel that I am lacking. The next question that I'm going to ask myself is, apart from what I think is the problem, are there other possibilities? Are there other things that could be the problem that I am just failing to identify correctly? Yes, it might be an issue of time because I am into a whole lot of activities. It might be because I need to get rid of some activities to make time for exercising. Yes, so that is another possibility, because solving a problem needs us to identify correctly the root of the problem. And if we fail to identify the root of the problem, we're going to fail to find the solution to the problem. So it's good to consider other options. Sometimes you even ask people close to you to analyze what could be the problem, what exactly is stopping you from doing this thing. So it could be an issue of time, and I am blaming it on the state of my mind. Perhaps that could be the problem. And finally, what I ask myself, the last question that is really, really important would be, what can I do? What can I do to make this better in the remaining part of the year? In my case, I think the things that I can do to make this better are, first of all, I love books. So I can get a self-discipline book that just helps groom my mind, that just helps put my mind ready to be able to take on that exercising journey, that physical exercise journey. I also can get rid of some activities, like I look at what I'm involved in and see what can I get out of this. I do a sort of cost benefit analysis, and I see what has less benefits and more cost than exercising, that physical exercise, to my life, and I get rid of that, and then I replace it with physical exercise. So those are the things that might probably work for me. Whatever, if whatever the problem might have been, if it is what I identified or what I thought could be another reason, so I've brought out solutions to it. It's important that you take into account both the solutions of what you think, solving what you actually think is the problem, and what you think might be the problem, but it's not the first thing that you're pointing to. So you see, both bringing in both those solutions can actually help to increase the chances of you ending up solving the problem. So yes, but regardless, it is still very important to spend a whole lot of time trying to identify the problem. That is the best way to go about it, because once you identify it correctly, you're going to solve it easily. What you do is take out time to do this for each goal that you set by the beginning of at the beginning of the year. So that is what you do. I'll take over the questions for you so that you can do this for each goal of yours. Question number one: what goal did I set at the beginning of the year? Question number two: uh, how far am I from achieving this goal? Question number three: what exactly is stopping me from achieving this goal? That is in the case where you are not achieving the goal. What exactly is stopping me from achieving the goal? If you are already achieving the goal, you might want to ask another similar question, let me say an alternative question, which would be what has been helping me achieve this? What do I need to reinforce? What do I need to make sure that stays in place for this goal to continue uh, being accomplished? Next, what could be other things that are stopping me that I did not immediately identify in first place as the problem? And then finally, what can I do now that we've identified the problem? What can I do to make this better? What can I do to help myself to achieve these goals? This exercise is extremely important, and it's going to help with your productivity. It's going to help with your life in general. It's just going to help to make everything better, but only if you would take a few minutes of your time to really evaluate yourself, to really evaluate your performance, and be able to identify problems and fix what needs to be fixed. And yes, most importantly, most importantly, this is mid-year. Find time to relax. Find time to rest. It is important for you. Reward yourself for achieving everything that you've achieved, for trying to achieve everything that you've achieved, that you're trying to achieve. So take out time, reward yourself, take a small vacation, go out with friends, organize a gathering, throw a house party, do something that just helps you let all the stress out, and you just welcome all the peace and serenity and I don't know, just good vibes all over. So do that for yourself, because it's important, because it's mid-year and you deserve to celebrate mid-year. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to celebrate yourself for this journey that you have been taking. Thank you all so much for watching till this point in time, and I really believe that this video is really as insightful to you as it is to me, and that doing this exercise is going to take you a step closer to achieving your goals and make the second part of your year 2024 to be more productive and much more enjoyable.